this. Can you believe we're in week 4? We finally made it, color and packaging. So you're gonna do package design now. This is what the week looks like. It's got a familiar rhythm. We're doing our live session here Monday. You're gonna post your work in progress for your package design to the discussion on Thursday, provide a little peer feedback on Friday, and then you're gonna complete your package design and wrap up this whole project in a wonderful video presentation, as well as your PDF by Sunday. Get an A+ in color theory, go on to have a fantastic life, take typography or whatever next month. I can't remember what you have next month. That's the plan anyway. So why do we have package design and color theory? Well, if you think about it, when you walk into the store, the first thing that hits you on packaging is the color. It's really a wonderful mix of design, branding, marketing, industrial design. It all sort of comes together in package design. It tells you, color and packaging tells you a number of things right away. It tells you something about the brand, the product category, the price point, and it gets your attention. So, you know, you see a certain color green, is it lemon lime soda or is it bug spray? The color will tell you. It's a mixture, a wonderful mixture of marketing and product industrial design, keeping it together. So the trick is to identify with your category, but stand out from that category, which is a bit of a paradox. So here we have some chocolate bars. Do these all look like chocolate bars to you guys?
No.
No, which one doesn't, or which ones?
I guess the baby blue, both of the blues, the green and the black one. We could get away with the white chocolate.
Yeah, right. So here's the thing about human beings. Like, we definitely equate color to flavor. So it's part of our DNA in that when we lived in the woods, you know, you had to like figure out what fruit was ripe on the tree or you would die. And color is what told you that, right? So a number of other things, dangers and things like that. So
they
blue.
All look like chocolate to me.
They all look like chocolate to you, Enrico? So that blue really isn't like a flavor color. It's not a food color. So it doesn't really spark, you know, like blueberries are really purple. There isn't really like a blue food. The green to me kind of looks like wasabi maybe, or grass. And I'm with you, Daniel, the black. So it's possible to stand out too much, right? The one in the lower left looks kind of chocolate colored, so that helps, but it kind of blends in a bit. So here's some other chocolate bars. Do these all look like chocolate bars to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do, right? But the first one has blue on it. How does it manage to still look like a chocolate bar?
Because the man is chocolate.
Yeah. The logo, well, you see that logo?
Yeah.
It looks like it's dripped in chocolate. It's raised ink, glossy. It just has a wonderful look. So it sort of signals the flavor to you. And then the design can be sort of playful and fun and exotic. And so how much do you think these chocolate bars cost?
$3 or $4 a piece. Maybe.
Yeah, right. Probably $3 or $4 for a 2-ounce chocolate bar. That's a lot. And I think part of the perception of value comes from interesting design. So that's a little bit of what we're learning with package design. So like I said, it's be different, but be the same. A weird sort of paradox. Here's some ice cream bars. These are from Russia, but they have a sort of South Asian motif going on. Do these look appealing to you? Would you eat these?
Yeah.
Yeah, they look good, right? The packaging is showing off the product because the product's really pretty and appealing. it has what we call in the packaged goods industry appetite appeal. The background elements are signaling what the ingredients are, but in a very bright, cheerful way that makes me feel like it's all good, even though it's prune and vanilla in the middle. I think it's prune and mint with vanilla beans. So if your product's real pretty, you can show it off. That's one way to approach it. Pepitas, these are potato sticks. So they're not particularly pretty, but they're using kind of fun, whimsical, comic book looking motif to sell them because they're not serious food, right? They're not like nutrition. There's something you eat for fun, maybe watching the movies or something. To me, it looks like Adventure Time. What do you guys think?
Could you explain to me your terminology of motif a little bit?
So the motif is sort of like the visual language. So they're using a lot of flat colors. There's no gradients. They're using a bit of a halftone dots. Everything has a stroke on it, so it feels kind of comic book-ish a little bit.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
You kept saying motif, and I'm like,
How long do you think it took them to get to that logo right there, to get to that design?
Pepitas? I have no idea. Probably not long. It's a word mark, but it's custom lettering because it's not regular type. I don't know. There's a whole brand development process that I'm sure they went through. Here's Firefly, peach and green tea. This is using these botanical sort of images to give you the flavor cues. So you kind of feel like you know what that tastes like, right?
yeah.
I love the logo. Looks like a fly in a bottle. This is Pet Supplies, Castor and Pollux. I really like the dog shampoo and a fire hydrant. Kind of fun, right?
It'd be the kind of bottle that you would keep afterwards.
Yeah,
Then
it's
you
like
just
fun.
recycle it.
And it's so simple. I mean, it's like it takes up the same space as a regular bottle. It's not that different than a regular bottle, but very different.
And then also could be like a good, just visual signifier to ensure that a child wouldn't accidentally use it.
Yeah, right. You wouldn't want to wash a kid with dog shampoo.
Stay away from the fire hydrant one, although it might smell to them more, but
Yeah, that's the most important part of it, probably.
Yeah. So Converse a few years ago was going out of business, and they couldn't let the classic Chuck Taylor shoe disappear because it's such an iconic shoe. Like we wouldn't have punk rock without Chuck Taylor. So they repackaged it in a sort of a wine box to make it like a classic all-American product.
That I will buy. I will buy that.
You like that, Daniel? Yeah, it's really cool. So it drew enough attention, and Nike ended up buying Converse. But a little bit of packaging kind of sparks interest, puts people on the right path again. So this is a list of stuff I got from a website called Design Force Inc. That Design Force Inc. prints and manufactures packaging for virtually every major company in the U.S. And this is their list of things they said to consider before executing design and color choices in packaging, which is what you're about to do. So we'll quickly go through that list. What does your brand stand for? Do you guys know what your brand stands for? You should by now because you've memorized your creative brief, right?
Yeah, great.
Who's your customer? You know who your customer is because you did your target audience page. What about the brand color included prompts a buy response from the targeted consumer? That's a marketing way of saying what's going to make people buy your product. So, for instance, if it's a delicious looking ice cream bar, a picture of the ice cream bar probably does the job, right? What if it's soap that makes you young and beautiful? What would make people want to buy that? What visual? A bar of
Color.
soap?
Colors.
Colors, yeah.
I guess like youthful, happy colors.
Well, youthful have a colors, yeah, but like, how about the end result? Like, hey, you're gonna look like this.
Yeah.
If you've ever watched any cosmetic commercials and stuff, they show the product, but they show the result. They want to show you how you're going to end up. Coffee, for instance, coffee beans aren't what's appealing. It's after the coffee's made and how you're having it on the front porch of your cabin by the lake. You know, like if you look at Folgers, I worked on Folgers a long time ago. Their key thing is the smell of the coffee. And if you notice, every Folger commercial has somebody smelling the coffee. So you want to think through what's the appeal. It's not necessarily just a picture of the product. It may be sort of an end result, or it may be a way of using the product that sort of sparks people's imagination and gets them excited about it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. When packaging for a global audience, what meanings are ascribed to the colors used? Well, colors mean different things in different cultures. If we taught you all about the different cultures and what the colors mean, the course would be like a year long. So I'm just sort of letting you know that that you should be aware that colors do mean different things. Shanice, did you have a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to unmute. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So with the creative brief and the coloring, like the Pantone we were given.
Yes.
So is that mandatory we use that color? Because I know when I took the class last time it wasn't, or is it?
Yeah, it's always been mandatory.
Okay.
That color is your starting color, and then you're adding 4 other colors at least to add your color palette. And your assigned color, it should be sort of the hero color.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Sure. Oops. What did we do here? Oh, I went to Design Force Inc. I clicked on the link. If you ever want to go here, designforceinc.com, they have a blog that gives you the technical manufacturing side of package design, which is kind of interesting. If you get into package design, there's a lot more to learn. Professor Wood has done package design.
Okay, package design.
Yeah.
I'm kind of frozen. Did you change this? Oh no. Okay, here we go. I see
It's
you moving.
updating.
Yeah.
All right. I hope I'm not having that internet connection trouble.
Everything's good on my end tonight.
All right.
Yeah, I'm caught up now. I'm all right.
Can a unique color be developed to support the brand? Well, you all have your unique color. Shanice, so you got your color. How does the chosen package color or combination make the consumer feel? So you can send this off, your designs off to other people who are in the target audience for your product, and get a reaction. Yum, yuck. You don't want design advice unless they're a famous graphic designer. But you do want sort of reaction to sort of get if you're getting the right feel. And then lastly, it says retailer shelves a few items in a product line, but you're only doing one, so you're good. So basically you're on a professional level. You're going to be doing all the things according to the big plan. All right, let's look at some more examples for inspiration. Here's Monchaco, Artisan Chocolatier de Côte d'Ivoire. You can see this, they're using what I would call an illustrative pattern in the background.
Oh, cool.
What do you think?
I think it's so clean, and it definitely represents freshness. Like, definitely represents like we picked this handmade for you.
Yeah, it does have it has sort of authentic feeling. Like the illustration isn't too fancy.
That would be my first choice.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Like that wouldn't be my first choice. If I had another choice to start with some chocolates, that wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah, well, it does look kind of upscale because of the gold foil, and it is white chocolate.
Looks like wallpaper.
Yeah, it does. The way it's spread out like that. Here it is in the can, like the nice gold can kind of gives it an upscale feeling. Here is Loving Earth. Now, they're using a principle of design where they keep things very consistent in terms of the design structure, the hierarchy, the font usage, and then they change it up a lot with the color, and the color is kind of giving you flavor cues. They have an illustration of a cacao pod, but it looks like it's made of chocolate. And then it has little things like these mint leaves and orange segments to give you the flavor. What do you guys think? You're gonna want to get a chocolate bar by the time we're done with this lecture.
Yeah. My wife gave me some chocolate for Father's Day yesterday, so I might go eat some of that.
There you go. See, you got that? It's like a whole set of books.
That's dope.
I really like the way the
Like that before.
casing cuts out the text.
Yeah, the cutout on the front of the box where the casing where it shows the.
Yeah, I never seen books look like that before.
All right. Here, this is a restaurant in Russia. It's called Mama Mafia's. It serves burgers, pizza, and sushi. They're using spot illustrations, almost like a pattern that's very whimsical. I love the logo, the character they've sort of created for Mama Mafia. And no facial features, just sunglasses. You can sort of see the negative space with the fedora, the hat, but you can almost hear her voice. If anybody seen the movie The Goonies,
Yeah.
that's what I picture, the old lady in The Goonies. What do you guys think? See, they do sushi, so they have like a Yakuza gang guy with a samurai sword cutting up shrimp. It has a bit of sort of irreverence and danger to it, but that sort of fits with fast food, right? This is in fine wine and dining and white tablecloths. They've got a squid with two revolvers and a baseball bat.
Yeah. I feel like it's very inviting. It's fun and it's very uniform.
Yeah, I think fast food being fun is probably a good association. And this
It wouldn't be my first choice though.
wouldn't be your first choice, Enrico. All right. This is candy. So this is buttermilk. You can see the word mark feels like it's dripped in milk and buttermilk. The picture of the product is vanilla fudge. It's not particularly pretty, but they added some spot illustrations to enhance it. So you can do that. You can like take a photo and enhance it with illustration. That's a fun way to go. They did it with peanut brittle and then clotted cream. They're using a nice pattern on the side with these spot illustrations. All right, now I'm going to show you before and after. We're going to show you some products that were redesigned. The packaging was redesigned. I want you to tell me what they did and why. So first up is Luden's cough drops. Before is on the top, after is on the bottom.
I guess the top looks like medicine and the bottom looks like candy.
Yeah, that's a great way to summarize it. Clearly, the market changed. And Luden's, which is a very old company, very medicinal, had to update. So let's get into the specifics. What did they do?
Oh, they added bright colors. They colored most of the packaging, leaving just the logo and the actual fruit itself.
Right. More
Right.
color, Daniel. So what does that do for you?
Invitation.
Well, it gives you the flavor, right?
Yeah.
You have no doubt that it's cherry.
It's being sold in some places. It looks like uniquely. What does it say? Uniquely what goods? It's
Yeah,
being sold.
uniquely good.
Oh, okay. So they got the red one. Yeah, like you said, the one top one looks like medicine, and the bottom one. But that's nah. That's I learned that in my other class.
No. What about the window? They made the little window drop down to the bottom, right? These probably hung on a hook, and when the top window probably all scooted down and they looked empty. So they put the window down at the bottom. They enhanced the logo. They gave it more presence. The logo should be the hero, and it's working really well there.
I think too, like, oh, sorry.
Oh, go
Just,
ahead.
placing the window at the bottom makes it feel full, whereas before I saw a lot of negative space. It made me feel like I wasn't getting my money's worth.
Yeah, right. And you can see they hang on a hook.
Yeah.
So these are like laid flat, and the photos laid flat. And anyway, all
I
right.
put a link up if anybody's interested later to go back. It's called Brand New by Under Consideration. And they show you like the before and after logos. And I like to just follow this site, like when like Chobani came out with their new yogurt, or Dunkin' Donuts switched to Dunkin'. Like a lot of the
yeah.
press releases come here first, and you can just see a lot. So if you're curious, I would bookmark that link and you can follow it.
Here's Don Julio. Before on the left, after on the right.
I see just more vibrance, definitely. That the actual thing is almost similar. It's just more inviting with the more bold colors.
Yeah, they toned back the yellow, and the red became sort of richer. It's a
The
better
type
photo.
changed. Is the type changed? It looks like the type has changed.
Yes, Enrico, it looks like they changed the font a little bit. They made the way the J resolves into that scrolling better than how it was before.
Also, this is less type information on the front. It's more of a light gold font rather than so dominant.
Kalani, you're breaking up a little bit. Try it again.
It seems to be less font. There's the two, if there is additional information is in gold, the coloring while together seems to be and it seems to be taking up less space.
Can anybody else hear? Because I can't.
I did not get any of that.
It sounded like she was speaking a foreign language. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Guy smiling. So
I'm sorry.
Maybe type it if you can.
Yeah, type it in the chat. I know how design students love to type.
That wooden top to the bottle.
Yes.
So I'm glad they kept that, because that really has the air of, you know, prestige.
The glass has changed too, though. The glass is more. The glass looks more mature in the older one, though.
Yeah, the new one has a better photo, so the glass looks a lot smoother. It's a little darker looking too. The one on the left is really kind of old school, like the old men sitting around smoking, drinking tequila, and the one on the right to me is like margaritas at the beach. You know, it's a little updated, contemporary. I love the image of the silhouette of Don Julio at the top of the label. It's like I can see him on horseback surveying the agave fields.
The bottle top. I like how it catches the cork on the new one, though. It gives a place for the It gives a place for this logo. Label.
Yeah. The glass. Yeah, it comes out like that. It's the kind of bottle you'd probably keep afterwards.
Or maybe not.
All right. Kalani says, less font, so it's more clean. Yes, they cleaned up the bottom. If you see all that type at the bottom of the old one, and they have an agave plant sort of ghosted back behind there, it just creates dirt and hard to read. So on the right one, they sort of cleaned it up and organized things. They put the agave plant in a little gold ring and really looks special instead of just like dirt. It's a good observation. All right, Michael's Peanuts, before on the left, after on the right.
I'm not sure which one I would really go for here. I think the other one is more inviting. I think the old is more inviting. I don't know.
Sure, Daniel. Yeah. So what about it you like?
I get to see my snack. It kind of outlines the M.
You like the window?
Yeah, I like the window. I like how it's the letter of the brand. You know, M, Michael. You know, I see that if I see that M anywhere with peanuts in it, I'm gonna know it's Michael. You know, but if I
Right.
see another bag, I might glance by it going down the grocery aisle. Kind of looks boring.
Too much information up front.
It looks like it's two different sizes. You know, it doesn't really look like it's two from two different times. It more looks like
That's a good way to put it.
this is a $1. This is $5.
Yeah. The word farm changed quite a bit from left to right. And they added a tractor. And if you're eating agricultural products and they come from a farm, it seems better. They added a lot more information on the one on the right. To me, the one on the left is 7-Eleven and the one on the right is Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Kalani, you got your audio connection hooked up right.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, all right, good.
I just feel like the one on the right is definitely has a lot more font, has a lot more information, and so it looks clean. But I also feel like my eye is overwhelmed with information, so
Yeah, maybe
I might
too
go
much.
for yes.
Good point. Yeah. All right, here's lasagna, before on the left and then after on the right.
I like the right better because it's just that bright red, and with pasta lasagna, we always have that red sauce, so that instantly brings my eye. And not only that, the font as well seems to be a lot more what you find in restaurants rather than the hand rented script on the left, Lista.
Yeah, right. Yeah, how about the photo?
One on the right looks like medicine to me.
The photo on the right looks like medicine to you, Enrico?
No, this design, it looks like, oh, forget it.
I'm trying to follow you, Enrico.
So the image on the right versus the left, the lasagna photos, one looks like it's like cheap, whatever, junky lasagna, and the other one's like gourmet style looking lasagna. If you compare the two photos.
Yeah, Brian. So, yeah, the one looks like school lunch and the other is gourmet magazine. They've got this deckled edge. Oh, go ahead, Sabrina.
I was just gonna say, I just think though, in terms of color, like the color contrast, like when you have red and black next to each other, this is more so on a screen, but then the two colors, you know, they can, because their eyes trying to compensate for that, you know, the cones being blown out, it can cause that differing, which is like when you start to see a fuzz because your eye is trying to compensate for that. So the fact that they have like the complementary colors to the red and green right next to each other and that black, to me, it's just overkill. So,
yeah. So the red and green come from the Italian flag.
Yeah, but still. Just,
yeah.
I don't know. Like to me, you know, like the color contrast is the imagery, but the text is kind of hard for me to see. I'd be buying it based off of the image.
Yeah. Well,
I see a lot of pastas with those colors. That whole idea right over there: the blue, the red, and the green.
Yeah, the blue to me, that's like Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Like I just mean like yeah. So why would they both be using that? I don't know. That's what I meant.
I mean, I see the actual food itself doesn't look as lively on that blue. I think the red side here looks a lot more inviting. Like, all right, yeah, I cooked this with perfection. Other side's like, yeah, this was kind of quick.
Yeah. We're all gonna get dinner after this lecture, all right? All right. Water on the left is before, on the right is a close-up of the label, the after.
Definitely on the right, I'm liking. It's very clean, simple, and the reflective design, which is very much like water. It's reflective and it catches your eye. I like it much better.
Mm-hmm.
The one on the left looks like pool, like swimming pool.
Yeah.
Versus, you know,
Who-
like drinking water.
Who wants to drink pool water in a bottle? Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
So how much do you think the bottles on the left cost?
Oh, like 6 something maybe.
That's the dollar. That's the dollar.
That's a dollar
brand.
bottle.
Oh
How much-
no.
How much does a bottle on the right cost?
That's the $4 bottle.
Right. So the profit went up by $3 because of design. As a designer, you add value. This could be the greatest water in the world, but without a good design for the bottle, they would never get their money. So just remember as you go forward in your career as a designer that you're adding value and you're adding money to the bottom line a lot of times. It
Is
can
this
make a big
German
difference.
product?
Is this what?
A German product? Or
It's, I think it's
when you're in Germany,
French.
you'll ask your water, with gas or without gas. You can get it with bubbles or without bubbles.
Or Spanish.
So
It's like mineral natural water.
that's what the syn gas is. It's saying with bubbles.
It looks like religious. It looks religious.
Maybe.
But
It's
I
holy
like
water.
I like the typeface better on this one because it's more fluid and it kind of like has the feel of water.
Yeah. All right, here's some beer before and after.
I like the different types of coloring that goes on the one on the after because the lighting, like it literally in the lines, like everything brings your eye to that icon and its name. Automatically just brings your eye right to that point. Focal point. It has a focal point
Yes.
comparison to the other one.
What's the focal point on the other one, on the old one?
The India, like
Yeah.
automatically all I see is that banner.
Well, there's color hierarchy in the old one, and it focuses on the wrong thing, India, which is not the brand name. It's not even really a name of anything. It's really India Pale Ale.
Feels gross. Ugh.
So yeah, that's a good point. Like if things if a product has a bad label design, I kind of wonder what's inside. Like, did they take care making it? Do I want to ingest that? You
I
guys
would.
agree?
Yeah, for sure.
The logo's a lot more focal point. They got rid of that anemic type. They ditched the L apostrophe, which wasn't necessary, and looks like a decent beer now.
I really like how with the A they outline the shape of their beer. It's pretty clever.
Yeah, it kind of almost looks like the Eiffel Tower, but it's like the A with the negative space is the beer bottle.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here is Rice-A-Roni. This is not great design. I took a picture of this because Rice-A-Roni, this has everything that could go on a box in one box. So we're going to just reverse engineer this and sort of figure out what they did and, like what all the things that you could put on your packaging. The first thing you want to figure out when you're designing packaging is where is what's called the primary display panel. And that's the part of the package that faces the consumer when it's sitting on the shelf. So, like this box of Rice-A-Roni, if you think about it, it could be a cube, right? It would hold the same volume in a cube. But the problem with that is there wouldn't be a big front-facing panel to draw people's attention. The same thing with cereal. Anybody bought cereal recently? You know, where would Captain Crunch's face go if it was this cube, right? So this is the primary display panel on this. Now, certain things have to go on the primary display panel, so you're going to want to make sure you get this covered. So let's break this down and analyze it. So number one in the hierarchy, the logo. You've all worked really hard on your logo. Now's the time to show it off. It should be the hero of the show. It's Beyonce of the show, right? This has a descriptor line. Tell people something about your product. You can't just say the name and expect people to get it. You have to give them a little more information. So long grain and wild rice, that's the product. And Rice-A-Roni, of course, has 2 descriptor lines, tender long grain and wild rice with herbs. So they're really trying to sell you. They've got ingredients. Everything has ingredients. If it's coffee or tea, it might just be coffee or tea as the ingredients, but find some ingredients and put those on your package. Net weight. Now the net weight by law has to go on the primary display panel. It has to be really clear and easy to read. In the case of Rice-A-Roni, they put a black stroke around white type. But here's a design principle that I always follow. If something has to be on the page, is required, I'll put it on the page first. Because the worst is when you get something all designed and finished, and then at the last minute you have to stick it on. It's like, oh no, I forgot the net weight. Now I have to add that in.
You could put this you could put this rice in like the microwave, right?
Yes, I believe it has microwave directions, maybe. I don't know. No, it doesn't say that. Next up, nutritional facts. So nutritional facts, you're going to get those and put those on there. Anything that has calories requires nutritional facts. So if it's soap, you don't have to put nutritional facts. What, Enrico?
They should put the nutritional facts on the front.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be on the front. It can go on the back.
But the rice can go in the microwave.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're analyzing the elements of a package design, so we're trying to figure out things that go on a package. Barcode. So the barcode goes on the bottom or the back. They do have directions. You might not have directions for your product, but you could add some interesting story. You know, it's been made the same way for hundreds of years, grandma's recipe, whatever it is. You can give a little more information that would make it more intriguing. And then, I'm sorry, last thing is the photo. They have a photo of the finished product on this. They're not showing you raw rice because that's not appealing. What's appealing is when it's all ready to eat, right? Oh boy.
That's something easy to forget. You can forget that real quick.
Forget that it's rice? What? I'm not sure what you're saying.
No, like, you know, you don't have to keep on buying it. You know, they don't want you to keep on buying it though. You know, too much of it will make you want to keep buying it. Like too much of a perfection, you're gonna keep on buying it. You're gonna keep on buying it. You're gonna keep on buying it.
Yes. Well, you'll buy it at least once, and if you like it, you'll buy it again, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
So your package is going to be an Illustrator file that's a flat, and you're going to create a digital mock-up. I'm going to go over to FSO and show you what I'm talking about. Here we are, week 4. All right, live session, package design, and final presentation. So this is where you're going to pull it all together. So you're going to design your package. It should have all these elements, as I've described in the lecture: logo, product name, variety, net weight, nutritional info, barcode. And you're going to download files that you're going to use as your design template. Now, there are basically 2 templates. So there's a rectangular carry case and a pitch lid taper side. You only have to do one of those. You don't have to do both. Whichever one you pick, if you pick rectangular carry case, then you need to get the Photoshop corresponding mock-up rectangular carry case. They work together. There's a video here that explains how to use the mock-up, how to set it up, and then another video about adjusting it. Then you're going to create a video presentation just like you did for your hero portrait of your entire presentation, your whole brand. When you're all done, you're going to submit both the video presentation and your PDF. So both things get submitted here. Now, in the discussion, you're going to show your work off. So in the discussion, you're going to do your work in progress. You're going to provide feedback. You're going to submit your final work. And then you're going to appreciate, including your video, and then you're going to appreciate somebody else's work. So there are 4 posts due on this. Now, when you submit your...
Sorry, just really quick, just to be clear, you submit your video twice. I had
Yes.
quite a few students last month who only submitted it in one place or the other, but you need to submit it in both places.
And it's not that hard to do. Once you get the link, just paste it in.
So
So you're gonna give us a link? You're gonna give us a link?
You're going to create your own video, and you will have a link to your own video.
Or we're gonna submit it on Full Sail?
Yes, you submit all your work to Full Sail online, FSO. So you're going to submit your video in the discussion, and you're also going to submit your video in the week 4 assignment, the package design and final presentation, both places. The key thing is to design your package and get it into the discussion work in progress so we can look at it on Thursday and give you some feedback.
Now, quick question. I'm sorry. I was reading through it and say come up with 2, 3 options, or did I
Yes.
misread that?
No, you want to come up with 3 options for your identity or for your package design. So 3 options, but you only have to do the mock-up of the final. Let me see. I'll show Elena's. She didn't use a template, but so this is Elena. She did Bermuda T. So this is the other thing. You're going to finalize your presentation. So this is the InDesign document. You want to make it look great. Use your brand colors. Use your fonts and make it unique. So this is her title page, her creative brief, her word cloud. So you're going to take those words and turn them into a beautiful thing using different fonts and different colors. Target audience, everything's neat, lined up well. Inspiration, there aren't a lot of gray boxes and stuff, like everything is filling out the page really well. Competitors, so you really want to make every page look really neat and well done. Fonts, her sketches, her logo process, logo tests, final logo, color palette, all finished with all the specs, business card, letterhead, envelope, a full identity mock-up. This is what you just finished. Package design, so there's a flat of her package design, and there's the full-on mock-up. Here's another flat. She did 3 mock-ups. You don't have to do 3 mock-ups. Here's another one. She did 3.
We only have to do one?
You only have to do the mock-up of 1, but you have to do 3 designs.
Oh, okay.
So she kind of went overboard. Then you want to take your mock-up and put it into an interesting composite using Photoshop. And that's a matter of looking at perspective and seeing where you can put it. She added the little tag on the tea bag, but this is really nicely done. So you want to make your whole presentation look professional, neat, and totally completed. Make sense?
Yeah.
So the package design is one part, the presentation is the other part. When you get both those things done, you're going to record a video of yourself presenting all your work and your design decisions. Submit the video both to the discussion and to the final project, final presentation assignment, and sit back and relax and enjoy your weekend. How about that?
When will the grades be in for week 3?
Tomorrow.
Peter.
I have a, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go first, please.
I just have a question when it comes to the InDesign template. I try to change the colors, but like it just didn't, I don't know how to edit it in a non-destructive way because it was
Well,
not working for me.
You need to change the master page. You're probably struggling with the master page, right?
Oh, maybe.
If you go on the master page, you have access to all the things that are on all the pages, and you're able to change it universally.
Okay, that's right. Oops, I wasn't doing that. I was clicking on stuff. That might be why.
Yeah. Any other
what-
questions? Go ahead, Sabrina. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to throw in 2 resources for the students to help them as well. I don't know if we go over it on Thursday or now, but I was going to throw in the die line and.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Pento.
well, I got it up. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just put the links there and then you can show them.
This is a website called the Die Line, DIE. That stands for, that means a die, which is like a form that cuts paper into shapes. Anyway, the Die Line, this is a professional website for package designers, and it has a lot of incredible information about package design, the materials, the latest trends, really some great stuff. But what they have in here, there's a search right here at the bottom. And if I say, for instance, Kalani, what's your product that you're working on?
I'm working with Dark Wave soap.
All right, so I'll put soap. It'll show me soap. Is it searching? It's not doing it. They keep changing this website. It's irritating. Wow, it's not working. Or you could try cosmetics. There we go. All right.
Bubbles.
What?
I said bubbles.
Bubbles, yeah. So you can look at what other people are doing with your category. And if you click on some of these, like say this brand.
Is it 100% soap?
I went for cosmetics, so there's different, this is makeup. But it gives you other things, like there's the net weight, but they have a variety. They have some branding information. You know, like if I looked up coffee, for instance. Oh.
I'm just asking.
That's all right. Enrico, what's your product you're working on?
Cookies.
Cookies. All right, let's look up cookies. All right, Chomptown. Look at these cookies. It's a protein cookie. They're giving you other information. They tell you how much it weighs. It's dairy-free. It's gluten-free. You don't have to use this stuff. It's GMO, you know, certified. It's the flavor of the cookie. They're showing you a bit of a beautiful picture of a cookie that makes you want it. Good use of color.
Oh, no, I like the packaging.
Yeah, so that's one idea. So I'm saying if you go to this Die Line, you can get inspiration, is what we're talking about.
Okay, inspiration.
Chomptown. Not the best logo.
I have a quick question then after you're done.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you let students like resubmit work that they didn't do a good grade in? Because I like totally sucked my first week. And I was wondering if there's any way I can go ahead and recreate it or do
Yeah,
something.
we can talk about that. If you, you know, people are going through a lot of stuff right now, and I understand that. So, what I want to make sure that you finish the course with all the knowledge and skill that you need to go on in the program. So if you are able to demonstrate that even late, that's a good thing. So let me know what you're planning to do and we'll talk about it. All right, Stephanie?
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, because I was working on my logo more and I changed a couple of things to it, try to upgrade it a little bit. So definitely.
I always welcome making it better.
Yes.
There is an ultimate time limit, but you know, we're still in the time limit. So.
All right, I appreciate it. I'll talk to you about it later then.
All right, cool. All right, the other one was the Penta Awards, which Sabrina, Professor Wood told me about, which is fantastic. This also has a search thing. These are the best product designs, so it's curated. So if you really want to find the really best in your category, let's do cookies. Let's see. It would be.
These all have awards.
Yeah, they have awards for package design.
Oh, they probably paid a lot for those awards.
I'm not sure they pay. I don't know what you mean by pay for awards.
That's what I mean.
Oh, you mean they win a big prize?
No, they paid for awards. No, they didn't win any prize. They paid for the award.
Well,
I think an award's free though, because you're given, you know, you're getting it for free.
You usually pay a submission fee.
Work so that
Yeah,
they can
yeah. Sometimes people are better than other people.
Yes, that's what awards are about, figuring out who did the best job. So here's some chocolate bars, looks really nice. The packaging has this wonderful foil. I like that. But this is from all over the world. So take a look at the Penta Awards as well. All right. Any other questions?
How to get that effect, that metallic effect there?
It's the type of material they're using.
Photography there.
Yeah, they're using they're probably using a Mylar type material. I don't know. You can probably find out the details if you go here.
No, I was wondering how to mock that up, but
Oh, well, you can do a mock-up with a gradient that looks like, you know, reflective. You know, it would just be a gradient in Illustrator.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Or you can get some gold foil, like some people, like that Bermuda Tea. She got a picture of gold foil and masked it out in Illustrator.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions?
Oh.
All right. I'm looking forward to seeing your work. As always, Slack is a great way to get some feedback, get some help. If you put stuff out there, one of us will get on it with you. If you want to reach me, email is the best thing. If you put things in FSO in the response window or something, I'm not likely to see it right away. So just, you know.
All right.
All right, bye.
All right, bye, Enrico. Any final words, Sabrina?
No, oh, my final word was the whole time I was thinking about how packaging is free to use colors, but the product itself you have to be very careful with. I remember reading years ago about how they tried to make ketchup purple and green, and
I remember that.
And it did horrible in the you know, in the trials, because people associate green as being, you know,
Sour.
yeah, and not ready, and then purple as being too old, and so like people want their ketchup red, but then they did the same target audience among, like, you know, children, you know, 5 and under, and they totally loved it. They didn't care. They haven't built all those common connotations in their head.
Right.
And I remember going to a cookie store a couple years back, and they had they put blue dye in their cookies for 4th of July, and nobody bought the cookies because they looked moldy.
Yeah,
You know?
no kidding.
So, but then they had other cookies where they had blue icing, and those cookies were being bought. So it's, you just have, you know, there's just so much in color that, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking in the original Star Wars, they had the blue milk. Do you remember that?
No, I wasn't a Star Wars person. Don't kill me.
Well, and Luke's, you know, at the very first movie, Episode 4, and they're in the place and they're having dinner and they pour this blue milk. I said, well, the reason they made it blue is so it was weird, because blue isn't a food color, and that's like, and especially like milk, it's like blue milk, weird. I think that's the goal.
Maybe they should have made a book about it before releasing it, just like The Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham. Everyone likes green eggs and ham.
Yeah, good point.
Anyway, those are my closing thoughts.
All right, thanks, Sabrina.